Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Michael Hudson. In today's video, I'm going to be presenting to you the new Case Manager 1.0. This is a comprehensive Notion template. It's going to be a very, like I said, simple, straightforward workflow when it comes to Notion. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe once again. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be presenting to you the new Case Manager 1.0. This is a comprehensive Notion template that is designed to shift you from previous legacy task management systems or task management thinking to a more of a queue mindset, more advanced related case management system where we are handling much more volume of work across different production types or execution types, case types, for example, where you really want to get more depth, more clarity on the things that you're working on, whether it be professionally, personally. This is kind of a step up, and where I think the sort of productivity zeitgeist or paradigm is going, where simple to-do lists, whether it be on basic apps, whether it be Notion, Todoist, Trello, or even to-do lists held on pen and paper, they're not going to really cut it moving forward, because we are doing more and more volume of work, more and more different specialties of work and quality. And so I think it's time that we evolve our production systems and requirements to really be able to handle the diverse workloads that we're going to be working with. And this is what the case manager is and meant to be. So without further ado, let's get into the template. So first of all, what exactly is the case manager built upon? What is the core database? And the database that pretty much drives the case management template is our case database. So the case database is the primary driver of this template. It is where our cases, which replace our task, this is where everything is going to come out of. You see, we have a running table. We have a running table of all our cases, and then we can see them breaking out by calendar. So this is what it's going to be based upon. From there, our cases then have supporting databases and properties that relate up. The first supporting property is the case type, and then the second is the area. And I'm going to start with the area first, because I think that's a bit kind of easier. So areas are essentially domains of your life. So in this case, we have health, personal, finances, family, social, work. You can pretty much add any area you would like to for your situation when you get the template, but essentially that's what areas are. They're like the macro departments of your life, where you are health-wise, personally, socially, family. These are all the different domains you have to operate in. And then from there, you go into your specific case type. So for example, you could have an area such as education, but within education where things are relating to your information efforts, schooling, you have different sub cases or subtypes where certain things you have to get done belong to this specific subcategory. So for example, you are taking you're in school and you have homework, or you have courses you're trying to take related to education that you're doing, seminars. Same thing with family. You may have a case or an assignment related to your family, but it involves things you do specifically for your parents. Same going on and on with finances, what you do with your budget. Your case record type is essentially something that helps you drill down specifically into what you're doing in certain areas or even certain types of tasks that you have to get done. So now that we've covered over our 3 databases that's going to be driving the template, now let's get into the actual use case of the case manager. So again, this is simply replacing your task management from before. And you can see here in the template we have, charts to kind of gauge our numbers within our task. So this right here is a bar chart of our areas that show kind of where we're at completion wise with specific cases related to certain areas of our lives. So you can see we're really doing well in managing our finances, but we may have some work to do in stepping up our health up. This here shows the number of cases that we've completed over a week, and I'm going to get into the specific properties of our case database right now. So again, we've already gone over type and area, but we haven't gone over some other properties. So first, we have an atomic ID property within our case database. So every new case gets a specific ID to identify it and track it. Next, we have a completion percentage property that is directly related to the status property of our case. So this is kind of one step up from traditional to-do list because we don't have a checkbox that marks completed or failed. Case management allows for more nuanced tracking of items that we have to get done by removing the binary completed or failed aspect. We're able to move cases along in various stages and statuses depending on where we're at with them. And this is helpful for some of us who have more complex workflows that don't just get done right away, but they move into certain specific spaces or steps along the way. So within our status property, we can see we have 3 macro groups: to do, in progress, and complete. And we have 2 properties or 2 substatuses within each group. So the default is, of course, not started, but there's another where it says overdue, where this is something that we're behind on. And then we have 2 status properties for in progress, where we actually have in progress and then we have almost done. And then where we have complete, where the case is done, we either have completed, where it was successfully completed, or failed, where it was not. And the task isn't active anymore. And we can see here our completion property is a formula that relates up to our 3 status properties. So if the case is completed, if the case status is at completed, it'll say 1 if it's almost done at 75%, and if it's in progress, then we're 50% of the way there. So this is kind of a numerical way that helps some of us gauge where we're at with certain items. Then you have your notes property. So this can either describe certain cases or just kind of guiding notes to help you as you work through them. We also have a priority drop down to rank cases for you in each day. Well, of course, we have our area. We also have a due date for when the case needs to get done. And this due date property can be something that you relate or automate with your calendar as well. And then here we have something unique where we have a completed date, where not only now do we track when the case is due, but also when did we get it done. And this is something that I think will really help you as a team, because number one, it will help you track how much you're getting done in a week, or what your most productive weeks are, and also help you gauge, completion. Like, did we get a case done that was supposed to be due 2 weeks ago, but we got it done late? So you're able to kind of do these direct comparisons. And then we have a completion button. We're here. This is a button that runs 2 automations, where 1, it sets the completion status, and 2, it fills the completed date from the time you actually trigger it. So for example, if I click this, you see the status is set to complete and the completed date gets updated. So anytime your case is completed, I would tell you not to just run the click the status complete, but also click the button here. And then we have 2 page shortcuts where we have 2 different views optimized to view our case cases. So we have Case Manager D, which stands for desktop, and then we have Case Manager M, which stands for your mobile phone. And I'll show that a bit later. But as you can see, this is our chart. This is cases that we've completed this week, and then the overall donut chart of where exactly we're at with all of our cases based upon status. Here your chart, and you kind of have a working homepage list right here where you can see all your cases due this week to kind of just see how you could optimize the space. But I would say the area specific views, you want to go here. So we have a board view of our Case Manager M, where this is helpful for those of you on your phone and you want to be able, you can't really see a large Notion table across properties. The board and gallery view are going to be your handy tools to show your case manager. And then you have the Case Manager desktop here, where you have a table view of all your cases, and you can see them by status, priority, and due date, and of course record type and everything. Yeah. And then of course, you know, the manual. So the way I would tell each of you to, number one, understand the idea behind the case manager and then take it and run it in your workflow yourself. So first, think of it, like I said, this is task management taken to the next level. One, I would encourage each of you to start adding, I won't say start adding your new stuff. What I would tell you is start with the work you did last week or you got done last 4 days. You know, reflect back on your workflow, and that will help you give you ideas to how you can optimize the case manager for you with this ground-breaking foundational infrastructure. All right, let's start there first, and then you can begin to add in, you know, your base cases, and then update, you know, of course, the areas that you want, certain sub case types or record types that work best for you, and then even adding, depending on how comfortable you are with Notion, how you could possibly add, you know, properties or even optimize the existing properties. Maybe you want your status to not say completed or in progress. Maybe you have a stage system that you want, but this is really how you can use this thing for yourself. And, you know, that's how you run with it. But overall, I mean, this is the next step. This is where task management or unit management is going. So I encourage you highly. Also, best part, this template is free. 100% free, so you can get started with that. And if you want to see how we can create, or how the case manager can be used for even a bigger productivity ecosystem, where cases are managed and related up to your sprints and related up to your projects, we're going to have something special, premium for you coming soon. So until next time, folks, take care. See you in the next video.